So what you need to educate yourself on as a new agent is...
So the big question is, what are the top agents doing to absolutely crush it in real estate, grow their teams, and add more transactions year over year while so many struggle? If you ever thought about this, you're not alone. No one has been able to get the answers until now.
We spent the last few years helping agents sell billions in real estate, rubbing shoulders with top producers, which got us thinking, how can we expose more people to these insights to help raise the standard in the whole real estate industry? We then realized that we could help bridge the gap by getting the secrets from the best of the best so that you can succeed. My name is Andrew Dunn.
And my name is Peter Michael. Welcome to Elite Agent Secrets.
I want to roll into the final topic here because I think this is going to be some juicy stuff. So how brand new agents are going to be able to gain control, whether that's market control. I want you to unpack that with little to no experience, like they're just coming in. So what do you mean by it and how can they do it?
So what I have found with being new in any industry, especially in real estate, is agents shy away from doing things, whether it's an activity for prospecting or conducting appointments or whatever, reaching out to their family and friends. They shy away from doing those things because they have a lack of confidence. Okay, so now why do they have a lack of confidence? The lack of confidence comes from a lack of experience, right? They don't have the experience, and then there's a mindset issue. So the mindset issue is, hey, because I don't have the experience, I'm not qualified, right? They're not going to trust me. I'm not going to speak intelligently. I don't know what I'm doing. And all these things come into play. So is there a way to combat the lack of experience early on in your career so that you can be confident and talk to people intelligently? And there is. And that's through education, right? And that's not the education that you need to get your license, right? That's a whole different thing. Pretty much throw that away once you get your license. But now it becomes it really is, man. They don't teach you how to run a business, right? They just teach you how to get your license. So what you need to educate yourself on as a new agent is the process, right? What does it look like when somebody wants to go buy a house? Well, how do you start, right? What do the forms look like? What do the forms mean? Like if you can understand what a purchase contract is and know how to intelligently and accurately explain that to another person, you'll be confident to do it. And you don't have to have sold a house to be able to do that. You just have to dedicate time to learning it. The same thing goes with any financing addendums, talking through the process, using the MLS, showing homes, asking for feedback, learning scripts on how to get somebody from that on the fence, we like it, we kind of love it. Now, how do you get that to the next step? How do you encourage them to write that offer? Right? Well, there's a way to do that that's not pushy. And I would highly encourage you to never be pushy with your folks. Be a closer, right? Understand when it's time to close, but come from a place of love and contribution and an abundance mindset when you do it, right? And then you'll strengthen that relationship with those people. So confidence can come from experience or it can come from knowledge. And now deeper confidence comes from both, right? As you have knowledge and you gain experience, your confidence will just get stronger as time passes on. But as a new agent, developing that confidence is critical, not just to the people that you talk to, because they'll sniff out if you're not confident. We all know when you talk to somebody who's unsure of themselves. But to be genuinely sure of yourself is going to take you knowing the things that are involved in a real estate transaction. That's going to take you time. So I always tell agents, smooth is fast, or fast.
Slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast, right?
That's a race car term for everyone, just so they know.
Yeah.
That comes from racing cars. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
And it's true in so many different things where I see agents, they get their license and boom, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get all the clients. Okay, well, what are you going to do with them when you get them? Well, I don't know. Okay, so then how's your experience and how's their experience going to be? Why? Well, I don't know. It may be shitty, right? You may cost yourself a bunch of money. You may cost them money. You may ruin the situation to where they don't want to work with you. They leave you a bad review. I mean, those are worst case scenarios, but the opportunity for that to happen when you just shoot out of the gates is high. So what if you took some time to learn this thing first? Then that way, and if you remember when I told my story in the beginning, I got my license in 2015, but I didn't start doing anything until 16. Well, why was that? I spent the second half of 15, and it doesn't need to take you this much time. It just took me that much time. But I spent that second half learning the contracts, learning how to conduct a buyer consultation, learning how to conduct a listing presentation, learning how to write the contracts and explain them to people. That way, when I finally did get somebody, my time wasn't wasted. I didn't have any time to waste time. Everything had to count, and I had to look like I was the expert. That perception had to be, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about. They didn't have to say, how long have you been licensed? One thing I learned early on when I first got my license in 2003, I did an open house with the guy, and I was like 22, maybe 22 years old, and he was in his 40s. We both just got our freaking licenses, and we both were holding an open house together. You know, everybody that came into that open house addressed him. Everybody. They came into the open house, they looked at him, and they talked to him because they perceived that he was the one with the knowledge because of his age. So that was an aha moment for me. Like, okay, perception is everything, right? So how do I overcome that? The age thing. So those of you that are young, like, how do you overcome that? If you're in the same scenario, you have knowledge, right? You have knowledge. You talk to people confidently and intelligently, and they're going to assume that you have all the experience in the world because you're talking knowledgeably and you're confident in what you're saying. So getting that knowledge through role playing is a very good tool, a very, very good tool. Role play with somebody that you can do script practice with. You can go hard on each other. Please don't be like, oh, that was great when it wasn't. Like, really help people grow, because that sugarcoating shit doesn't work. Learn the scripts and develop your own, right? Take a foundation of somebody's script. And that's how my door knocking evolved, where I took somebody else's script. I tried it. It sucked for me. I mean, I'm sure it worked for them, but it sucked for me. So I developed a script that was genuine to my personality and the way that I talk, and I started winning with it. Learn those contract forms. Understand what you're getting your people into, right? Understand that it's not just, hey, sign here, sign there, and let's do this thing. Like, how do you get your client out of it if they want to get out, if they need to get out? How do you protect them? How do you hold the other people's feet to the fire if they're trying to get out? Right? You have to understand these things to be effective and earn your keep when it comes to your commission, and then believe in yourself, right? Believe in yourself that you can do it.
One of the things that you said, and I want to drive this home with another story as well, is about like confidence and really being able to kind of, feel good in yourself doing the job. So one of mine and Peter's mentors, he says conviction, but it's, confidence and conviction has to be greater. So your confidence and conviction in being able to do the job has to be greater than their skepticism. That's the equation. So you imagine two bars, and you've got confidence and conviction in your court, and they've got skepticism in theirs. Yours has to outweigh theirs. Like, you got to beat him. It's like, that's how it works. And just for context for everyone, he sold to a niche. It wasn't actually real estate. And the average profit for a company in a year was about $32,000 a year they would make in profit. And he was selling a program to these people for $16,000. So he was selling it to them for half of what they were currently making in a whole fucking year, right? Because he knew what he did would lead to $250,000. On average, that's what it added to every business he worked to. And that was the average. So some did more, some did less, right? And he was in his early 20s or mid 20s when he was doing this. And when people asked him how he was able to do it, he went, because my conviction was stronger than their skepticism. I knew without a shadow of a doubt my shit worked. So when I got onto the phone with him, my confidence and conviction in my product was way better than their skepticism. So they bought. It's because I knew at my core that this works. They're going to have a great experience, and they're going to get the end result that I'm guaranteeing them, type thing. And that's how, and he ends up selling $100 million worth of stuff. So yes, He did turn out to be massively successful for anyone at the end of that story. But it's so true. It's like, walk into a room. It's also the same reason another story would be someone like Steve Jobs, when he had a shitty product, but he's got the confidence of like an amazing sales guy and was able to sell a product that didn't really work to people, use the money to then build the product that actually worked. And it's because he had the confidence and conviction that this was the next thing to move people forward. And these are both kind of more extreme examples, but it's totally true. And people have to go into the world and it's like, I'm going to give you a fucking great experience. You got to trust me. And I know I'm going to do a great job. Same reason, you know, Peter's found so much success early on. It's like, I'm going to do a great fucking job for you. One of the things that I don't want people listening to fall into the trap of, and I think this is why you said it doesn't need to take you that long, is people get into like analysis paralysis or whatever you want to call it, where it's like, oh, I'm just going to keep learning. I'm not quite perfect yet. It's like, fuck that. Just start doing stuff. Just get yourself out there. There's only so much kind of rehearsal you can do until you need real market feedback. You need to go and do it. You're going to lose deals. It happens all the time, even to seasoned agents. It's not like, you know, no point crying over spilt milk. You just got to take lessons from it. So, Jeremy, what I want to do, because it's been fantastic, I want to give you the floor as well, because I know you're working on a lot of different stuff. So if someone wants to reach out to you, you know, whether it's phone, email, socials, whatever it is, tell them what you've got going on. They might want to buy a house, might want to get coached by you. I don't know. You tell the people if they want to speak to you about some stuff, some more, how they can get in touch.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you for that. The best way to reach us is through email at info@smichteamdfw.com. We are looking for agent partners all over the place. So if you have any interest in that, whether it's coaching or just talking, you know, hit us up. We would love to help you. I do have a coaching platform that's relatively new, but I've got a very intensive, and people that have gone through it, like you were in the military, right? Because I segmented this thing out so much. And it's a listing mastery course that we've created that helps agents prepare, execute, and then service listings once they have that opportunity. So on our website at btlrealestatetraining.com, they can go there and get a free course on that.
Love it. btlrealestatetraining.com for your free course.
Yep, they can go there, get a free course it's actually module 1 of all the modules there. And it teaches them in depth how to prepare for their listing appointment, making sure they have the correct forms, making sure their mindset's in the right place, making sure they have everything that they would need to go on a listing and be successful. I had an agent that just recently went through it that we actually brought onto our team, by the way. But he went through it a few months ago and he went on a listing appointment and he's an experienced agent. So he messaged me and he said, man, thank you so much for the course. There are ways to get it for free. So he got the course for free. He messaged me and said, hey, thank you so much for this course. I actually competed against a well-known luxury agent in my market who was willing to discount the commission, but I won the listing using what I learned from your course, and I got it at a 6%.
I fucking love that, man. I love that.
Yeah.
That is exactly what we're doing here. It's why we're doing it. It's like, listen, this podcast, people like you, it's like, let's help all these real estate agents out there who are struggling or just want more. And it's their God-given right to want more. Whether you're at 300 grand and you want $1 million, you know, it's your right. And that's what we support. Jeremy, thank you for sharing that. It's been an absolute pleasure. Everyone, thank you for listening. We hope you've enjoyed this episode. Oh, and by the way, would you consider yourself a maverick? Are you an agent, team leader, broker owner who is constantly striving to push boundaries and smash goals? Well, we've already helped over 100 agents go over $100,000 per year in GCI. So if you're interested in learning more about our courses and coaching to help you scale your business, then head over to go.eliteagentsecrets.com.